Pippa, thank you very much for that intro. Hopefully you can see the screen all okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Perfect. So thank you. I'm going to be fairly brief, but what I'd just like to do, and thank you for the opportunity to actually give you an update on what the Royal Microscopical Society, the RMS, has been doing over this time. And actually a big thank you to all the volunteers first, and all those that have attended the meetings and supported the RMS events over what has been quite a different period of time, certainly for the society and what it usually does. So to give you a very quick update, the RMS is not just here for light microscopists, it's not just here for life scientists, but actually it's a whole mix from the physical, the material sciences, through to, we've just been hearing about different scanning probe technologies, but also electron microscopy and a whole range. So really anything with microscopy related to it, including flow cytometry, is covered by the RMS. And it's been actioning things across the broad breadth of that portfolio. And during this time, we've also kept the focused interest group. So these are sort of areas where we see a bubbling up and needing more attention, and more as a community needing more networking. From the image analysis, which I think we know, and that's become a very big focused interest group, and watch this space of where that goes in the very near future, to the quality control in the light microscopy side of things. From the mass spec imaging and the correlative approaches that are coming outside of the microscopy normal sphere, through to training, X-ray, and even ion beam. So all these focused interest groups have been active during the last 12 months. Now, critically though, obviously the physical meetings have ceased for the time being, and the RMS incredibly has done over 50 virtual events since May 2020, okay, with thousands of different people attending those meetings, which I think is a huge credit to the RMS of how they've been very quick to respond and react to what was to them a very foreign, as to most of us, world of actually having to organise such events. And, you know, credit to all rocks for this meeting and last year's meeting, because they were very quick out the block. And it's not that easy to set these meetings up. The logistics behind it are still quite complicated sometimes. So the virtual events, some of the highlights of this has been the light sheet fluorescence microscopy, which the RMS was not organising, but then obviously because their annual meeting stopped, the RMS was requested to help and they stepped in, and that attracted over 800 attendees for that meeting and enabled it to go ahead. And if you were present to that, you'll know that it was really well received and was a real success. And it was great actually taking some of these forums online has enabled the meetings that we've helped in the past or run typically with the RMS to actually bring in a new audience, which has also been actually a benefit of COVID times. There's been the light microscopy facilities meeting and the flow and the electron microscopy equivalents as well. But what was really nice is this came in now in collaboration with Bioimaging North America, with Alison North and Claire Brown and Alex Tosick and myself. We put these through, and again, bring in the light microscopy facilities meetings, which happen every January, to a much wider audience. Critically, we also did the Frontiers in Bioimaging. We've done EMC for the Early Careers Conference, and that had over 600 attendees. High content imaging that came through, which had over 100 different people. And what is open to everyone is this Imaging One World, which is spun out of a group in Cambridge and Crick, which is really cool, has some great seminar speakers that come in to those talks. The one thing I've missed on here is the establishing safe working practices. In COVID, at the start of this, we held a series of 3 different meetings of looking at the best way we could operate microscopes safely once we were allowed back in the labs. And I think many people found that really useful. Hence, it was run a second time and a third time, and it was maturing and responding to the changing circumstances we're finding ourselves and learning along the way. So that was seen over that period of time. Upcoming, really excitingly, ELMI. Unfortunately, I won't be flying down the wing. I think I crawl down the wing these days, not so much so fast. But ELMI 2021 is going online this year, because unfortunately we couldn't have the in-person meeting over in the Netherlands. And we very much look forward to that in 2023, Finland next year, physically, hopefully in Turkey. But at least we do have a virtual meeting with hopefully interactive workshops with live demonstrations and small engagement. So again, you can get that workshop community feel of talking to whoever's doing the workshop and asking questions, getting answers back and feeding back raw thoughts. Obviously, a big event for the Royal Microscopical Society is MMC 2021, and that is also coming up beginning of July. So you've got ELMI in June, MMC in July. So we hopefully see many of you there. And again, we're trying to make it as engaging as possible, not just from the scientific conference, but from the company. And that will also have a big exhibition. And it's been a while since we've seen a lot of the developments from the company. So please do drop in. The exhibition is free. The conference has a small fee. That rhymes. I didn't even know that. There you go. Anyway, hopefully, post these meetings, come 2022, we will back to be in-person meetings, which will be very exciting. Starting with the core facilities, so the facility meetings, like microscopy facilities meeting in January will hopefully be the first in-person meeting at, oh gosh, where is that? In Cambridge, hopefully, all being well. So let's see where that goes, and we'll have a host of other meetings, but we'll also maintain some virtual formats for some meetings and courses which we've been doing over this time, such as the facility managers training course, flow cytometry image analysis courses have all been online, and some of those may remain online in the near future. There's also been online resources that you can still access, such as how to work safely, and you can find a summary of those meetings that we held. There's a huge range of recorded talks, lectures, and lots of links to courses, workshops, and resources for training as well on the RMS website. And Bioimaging UK has actually fed quite a lot into those as well. So shout out to Georgina Fletcher at that point. So very quickly, just to remind you, the Journal of Microscopy is the oldest journal dedicated to microscopy itself. It's where some of the most fundamentally important developments have been revealed for the first time through that journal. So please do consider that. And we now have the fast track communications and review articles to get out there. It really is one of the best places to publish your innovations, your developments in microscopy itself. Importantly, there's now 138 UK institutions that have a deal between Wiley for free open access. And there's similar deals across with Germany, Austria, Netherlands for similar purposes to enable you to get open access the journal at no direct cost. And that's important for many of us now as we go into the open access world. So please do, again, extra benefits for publishing in the Journal of Microscopy. But it's not just about us as scientists, it's also about inspiring the scientists of the future. And we've got the microscopy activity kits that's now gone into being used by over 100,000 school children, not just in the UK, but in Europe and over in Africa, and I think over in Asia as well now. So these activity kits are proliferating and getting the reach. Now, obviously that's been quiet, but they're all lined up to go again come September. Facilities database, if you're in a core facility or if you use a core facility, try and make sure there's now over 130 facilities now in this database. And it's not just in the UK, it is international. You can see here with South America, North America, Australia, Europe. Get your facility in there. It would be a great place if we could get the whole world to have use one database. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can find the resource you need. And because of the search profile, you can say, I'm in, I don't know where, whichever country, I'm in Belgium. You can just search Belgium and get the local ones to you. So please do look into that in more detail. Also, for facilities, there's lots of different resources, and I realize time is short, so I will skip through these really fast, but just have a look, such as the publications policy. If you're an academic, don't forget to acknowledge your core facility. When organizing conferences, don't forget about equality within those. And thanks to Sean Cully, there's a lot of resources on there that can help just bring new names to the fore instead of the same old names every time at each conference. Know someone who's doing a good job in whatever side and need acknowledgement, or if you feel they need or feel they deserve an acknowledgement, please look at the medal series as well. These are really sought after medals and prizes. So do hit the competition's awards on that. Want to know more? Go and get a diploma. If you want to get to these meetings, actually this says travel bursaries. If you want to go to ELMI, MMC, these are not just travel bursaries, they're event, conference, course bursaries. So if you remember, you can apply for this for early career, or if you're in a support role for microscopy or cytometry, then these can apply to yourself. And yeah, summer studentships, nice for those undergraduates, again, inspiring those coming through at the point. So have a look on the website for all these opportunities. Pippa, whirlwind speed, done. Thank you very much for that opportunity. And yeah, great work here. And thank you for inviting the RMS to give that brief update.
That's brilliant. Thanks as always, Peter. Yeah, you guys have been working so hard to keep things moving when we can't see each other. It's been a strange 18 months. Yeah, and I'm really missing seeing everybody face to face. So let's hopefully next year we can all see each other again. There was just one comment from Katerina. She says, thanks for sharing the microscopist series with us. We love it. I don't know if there's a link to that that you could maybe share in the chat window, because it's such a great series of interviews and it's so funny as well. One that we particularly like is with our co-founder, Tony Wilson. Get to know him a little bit better, find out how he got into microscopy and what he does in his spare time. So yeah, it's really nice to learn more about the background of the different researchers and get to know them a bit more personally. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Pippa, I could give you a hot one on that. So actually, you're right. I really like Tony with his cowboy hat, his cowboy boots and his ranch. This Friday comes out. It's actually, we've got to talk with the Chan. So Stephanie Ott, who's the scientific director for the Chan Zuckerberg initiative that has the imaging stream. So actually to see what their motives are, their motivations, also to get to know the person behind it. It's really, yeah, it's very different and a really cool one to come into this Friday.
Brilliant.